Alright, so the top 4 match between me and CD Cubo. I'm playing Blacephalon. We are going live right now for the finals, Atlas Mini 13 tournament. Who's gonna get to the finals? We shall see. Good luck to my opponent. Let's play. Alright. That is really interesting opening hand. I'm thinking about just... I'm not even sure. Using the John Hart, obviously, to get some of the resources into my hand. I need to put a Pokemon in play. Definitely. I have no clue against what type of deck I'm gonna play. And I'm thinking about getting that Reshizard or Blacephalon in play. Reshizard might be a good option for the Welder play and then save GX attack so I can take early pressure with that knockout. Let's find out. I mean, I'm also putting the 3 prize cards on the table with that Reshizard. Oof, I see Fire, which might be Centiskorch, which might also be a mirror match like Blacephalon as well. I mean, I'm playing versus Fire with Jirachi, so I'm assuming it's probably... I mean, it can be both. It can be both. Both decks can be, actually. So there is a Fire Energy, only one. Interesting, so he grabbed himself only 1 Fire Energy. Alright, so probably he will try to discard... Maybe he will just discard a hand, or who knows what. So there's a Heatran. So what you can do with the Heatran, okay, so you can power up 1 energy to Heatran and you can just simply hit for like a 50, which can be actually 100 versus Jirachi. But in this case, it's not gonna be enough, because I'm starting with the Cramorant in the front. Would be better if I started with that. Obviously, it would be better if I started with Jirachi instead. So there's a Pokecom. And I think it is a Centiskorch VMAX deck. It should be, because there's a Pokecom. So Blacephalon decks really don't play Pokemon communications too much. Okay, so there is also energy acceleration with that Volcanion, which actually puts me in the position right now to simply think about using my Cramorant Wii as the attacking Pokemon in this scenario, where I'm going to basically snipe his bench and not using my Reshizard, unfortunately. So I think that's pretty much okay play, because just in case, if he plays Boss's Orders and if he knocks my Reshizard out, I'm okay. If he don't have Boss's Orders, I can outrage him for the knockout, which is also pretty damn good. But the best thing is that if he brick, he won't be able to do anything, just hit for like 110. Which then puts me in a very good position, because if I get somehow maybe a switch, I can Boss's Orders and knock the Heatran out with the outrage. Still be in a position to next turn maybe play Eldegoss for maybe who knows, another Double Blaze or maybe Flare Strike. We shall see. So there is Centiskorch. So if I can eliminate Heatran with 5 energies from play by sniping it with my Cramorant, that's gonna be pretty badass. Really, it will be. Yeah, which is not far from the fact, because I have Eldegoss for that Welder play, and I have also Energy Retrieval plus John Harten play, so I should be in a position to knock the Heatran out. But I'm also thinking about maybe even sniping dead the Dene, which can be 2 prize card knockout, but then some things tells me that this is just not good play. But my opponent decided to play Boss's Orders instead. Will that be a best for the knockout? It will be. Whew, that is even better right now, because I can promote my Reshizard in the front, where I can simply pick 2 energies from my discard pile, attach one of them to my Reshizard, play Boss's Orders, discard a little bit more of energies to get a couple more energies, outrage him for the knockout. So that's the knockout, and I'm taking a huge reward here. There we go. 2 prize card knockout, which means that next turn I can simply go with potentially Eldegoss play, where I can grab myself Boss's Orders and knock the Dene out with 200 damage by the Double Blaze GX, and the only thing that I'm gonna need will be Blacephalon for the knockout against his Centiskorch VMAX. That is really interesting. But if I knocks Centiskorch VMAX out, for example, I can then simply end the game with my Cramorant Wii. But I have so many energies that this is just not looking good by any means, because if my opponent managed to somehow cut me down with... Well, what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna hit him for like 200. Well, first things first, let's go with the Welder play on the Cramorant. And then I can Double Blaze GX him for the knockout. That actually makes sense. And I'm preparing myself with Oricorio for the following turn. And probably I'm also gonna need a little bit more of energies for the next turn as well. So I'm pretty happy to hit just with Double Blaze for right now, because if he knocks me out, I can potentially just respawn with the Cramorant. But if he really wants to knock me out, he will need to add one more energy card, because right now he's hitting for like 160. But if there's gonna be also potentially... Oh, recent stamp is in the discard pile. But if there's also gonna be a Zigzagoon, then he can add that extra 10 damage for the knockout against my Reshizard. But then, let's find out. Let's just wait and see. There's a Welder. Okay, so how many Welders did he play? Oh, that's Welder from the Eldegoss. Alright, so for 1 energy attaching on that Centiskorch on the bench. And there's Inferno for like 160. Okay, so I'm gonna need Blacephalon for sure. Scoop Up Net is not the card that I really need. Dancing Retreat gives me that Blacephalon. It also gives me a Welder Play. Which road to choose? I have 200 HP, so if he plays Welder, he can add 2 energies and he can add 1 more energy from his hand. And that is like 4 energies. So that's like 4 energy cards, so I definitely need to retreat. I have a good amount of the resources left, so how many energies do I need? 1, 2, 3, that's like 150. So 1 energy retrieval should be enough. 1, 2, 3, that's like 150. Yeah, that's it. That's like a Fireball Circus. 50, and right now, if he can somehow pull the Nugget against the Dene, he can win. He definitely needs to stamp my hand and hope that I won't get nothing from that piece of stamp for 1. But he stamps me down to 1, I'm drawing 1 card for the turn, plus I have a Ricorio for 3. And that's like 5 cards, and from 5 cards the only thing that I need is just Crystal plus Welder for the Nugget against his Jirachi, or maybe Volcanion on the bench. But first he obviously needs to knock my Blacephalon out, so first he needs to deal with the Blacephalon, which is probably not gonna be the big deal. He can even knock him out. Oh, okay, there's a Cramorant, so that should be enough. As long as he have that Zigzagoon, it should be enough. If not, I have Quick Ball, which means that I can draw myself the Dene. But if he have Zigzagoon, game is over. And there is a Zigzagoon, so that's it. That's the 170 for that Ricorio knockout against well played. So we're gonna move to the game number 2. That game was very close, really fast in the end. That ratio unfortunately gave him 3 prize cards. So hopefully I'm gonna be a little bit more luckier in that game number 2. This time going second, which means that I can use Welder turn 1. Hopefully not gonna start with Cramorant. Here and there, you know, mistakes are made. There's nothing you can do against it. I think this is... Okay, this might be... Very quick game number 2, according to my opening hand. So the extra card is a Fire Energy. Alright. Alright, so there is one Stellar Wish. Even if he brick turn 1 here, and even if he doesn't put Pokemon in play, it's still hard for me with this hand to knock that Jirachi out, so he has Welder in his hand. Alright, there's Energy Spinner. The only good thing is that I can thin my deck so much. One Welder is also prized. So if I don't hit Quick Ball with my Stellar Wish, game is over, and I don't see it. So I only see that Pokegear 3.0, which still can help me to get that welder. If not, it's safe to say that the game is over. Whew. Yeah, losing to finals like this is simply unexpected, but this is the Blacephalon deck. This is the Blacephalon. You really cannot do anything against it. Still making the top 4 with this deck. Feeling proud. Nothing to say about that. Alright, still he needs to find a VMAX and a way to switch that Jirachi. So by adding energy he can definitely switch, but still he needs a little bit more. So good luck next. Hope we can play a decent match. We did play that game. Number 1 was a decent game. It was very close game until the last turn. Unfortunately, I'm not playing the Risa stamp. I couldn't stamp his hand. If I could, I would probably maybe even win. Oh, so burning train from 360. So that's the GG. Unfortunately, this is Blacephalon deck list, and there is really nothing you can do about it. Unfortunately, things happens, and yeah, that's the deck list that I used for this tournament. I finished like 8-3, you know, in top 4. So it served me pretty well. That Ratio Star definitely carries me out. Energy retrievals with fire crystals, and also that Pokegear 3.0 really worked good. But hey, I feel like I'm probably gonna need Mew in the future just to avoid that Cramorant snipes, because I lost 3 games. The only 3 games that I lost to the Centiskorch VMAX, and the 3 times when I lost, all 3 times I lost by the Cramorant snipe on my Oricorio or on my Dedenne. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more videos. Top 4 finished from Atlas Mini Tournament 13. Have a nice day, and we'll see you next time.